First of all, I would like to thank Win Bandung for inviting me as one of the panel of this session. Dear professors, doctors, participants of this seminar, now my presentation is about microfinancing through Zakat funds, Malaysia's experience from the perspective of Maqasid Shariah. So I will talk especially about this topic, about the microfinancing using or through Zakat funds. And I will mention about how Malaysia experienced this issue, and I will also explain about how the Maqasid Sharia perspective related to this issue. All right. First of all, we know that the innovation of contemporary issues in Zakat is very important nowadays. So I think that all of us agreed innovation in Zakat management is very important to ensure that Zakat institutions remain relevant and effective in addressing current socio-economic challenges. We as Muslims know that Zakat is one of the pillars of Islam, and maybe many view that Zakat is we understood as it is, but actually in nowadays the challenges and also the current economic needs such innovation in Zakat distribution. And the issue that I would like to highlight today is regarding this concept, regarding this issue, which is Iqradu Zakah. Because microfinancing through Zakat funds is closely related to the issue of Iqrab al-Zakah, meaning that Zakat to be distributed as a form of loan, qard. So in summary, I do not want to further elaborate. I will just mention about the two major views regarding this issue. Is it allowed to give zakat as loan? Is the iqradu zakat concept acceptable? So there are two major views regarding this issue. The first opinion, which is prohibited, meaning that they prohibit this concept. And what are the reasons that they have? First, because iqradu zakah, to give zakat as a loan, is contrary to the concept of full ownership or tamlik in zakat. And this is viewed by Imam Shafi'i, Al-Madhhab Shafi'i, and also the majority of scholars. They do not allow, because it is contrary, it is contradicted to the ownership, the full ownership concept in zakat. And also because zakat is the right of beneficiaries, the recipients, which is an absolute gift. If we give zakat, then the zakat will be owned by those recipients. So why made as a form of qard, as a form of loan? And this is contradicted. That is why they do not allow this concept. And qardul hasan, even though it is qardul hasan, which is a loan which is not without interest, but must be repaid. And this is against the zakat concept. And also they said that zakat is categorized as ta'abudiyah, or what we call ghairu ma'qulul ma'na, in ibadat. So it must remain as it is. And this is what they view. And what also make them do not agree with this concept of iqradu zakah, because they said if the recipient of this loan fail to pay, so what would happen to the given zakat? Is it zakat or is it loan? So this is the contradiction. That's why they do not allow. And also they view that it is contrary to the concept of fawriyah, immediacy of zakat distribution. So zakat must be distributed immediately, not as a loan. And also they are afraid that if we allow iqradu zakah, giving zakat as loan, this will open the opportunities that the beneficiaries of zakat, they are not eligible actually, but because it is as a loan, so they get. And this is against the recipient of zakat, which has only 8 group of people that we call al-asnaf al-thamaniya. So we are afraid of this. That is why prohibited. And also they said that it is contrary to the purpose of zakat, contrary to the maqasid of zakat, which is to meet people's and needy need, and also to relieve their hardship. So this is the original purpose of zakat, of zakat. But why giving as a loan? This is the problem. And also they said, last but not least, they said that this practice has never been mentioned and never been practiced by the previous people, such as Sahaba, Tabi'in, and those after them. This opinion, the first group, they do not allow. Let us see the second opinion, which allows this concept of iqradu zakah. And this opinion mentioned by Yusuf al-Qardawi. We have many scholars, Abu Ghudda, Abu Zahra, Az-Zuhaili, Mustafa Zarqa, and also Lajna al-Ifta wal-Awqaf in Kuwait, and also in Malaysia, some of the Majlis Fatwa states, such as state of Selangor, and also Kedah and Malacca. And they viewed that the use of Qardul Hasan in zakat distribution is permissible, is allowed, especially for the purpose of economic development based on Maqasid Shariah and achieving the highest purpose of zakat. So zakat is not only to be given lump sum like that and then finish, used up, and no more after that. So we need innovation, we need more interest, more maslahah in zakat. That is why they view that it is permissible. What are the reasons of this? First, because they said, because if zakat can be used to pay off debts, then it can also be used to give loan. For example, the group of al-gharimin, those who are in debt, if they became bankrupt, for example, because of the debts, then we can give them. So to give zakat as a loan is permissible in a far way for that. Second, using the qiyas and al-istidlal bil awla, that if borrowers of if those people among the gharimin can be given to zakat, then those people in need, those people poor and categorized as fuqara and masakin, and they want to do business, then min babil awla, they deserve this loan, they deserve the zakat. And also we can consider the borrowers of zakat, those who are given zakat as loan, also can be classified as al-gharimin, asnaful gharimin. Then there is no problem in this. And also any government, any institution, if they wanted to distribute zakat, so the distribution usually depends on maslahah, depends of the interest of people. The more interest, the more maslahah, the permissible, the more permitted and the more encouraged. In terms of fatwa, in Malaysia, of course, there is no concession, there is no agreement among the fatwas. Not all the states agreed with this concept, iqradu zakah, but at least there are fatwas. For example, fatwa in Selangor and fatwa in Malacca, they issued the fatwa that allows the concept of iqradu zakah. As such, they allow the microfinancing through zakat funds. In Malaysia, some of the states do not allow. For example, clearly in fatwa of Pulau Pinang in 2009, they issued fatwa that does not allow this concept of microfinancing through zakat funds. As for other states in Malaysia, they still discuss about the matter to allow or not to allow, because there are needs, and also the scholars, the researchers, they have been discussing about microfinancing through zakat. They have been discussing about a concept of iqradu zakah. So we hope in Malaysia that many states, more states will come up with the issuance of fatwa allowing this concept, which is iqradu az-zakah. Okay, for fatwas in other countries, maybe researchers in Indonesia, in other countries, we have DSN MUI fatwa that allows. We have in Baitul Mal Aceh also, they view that it is permissible to use zakat as a loan, and also in Algeria there is fatwa about that, allowing the iqradu zakah, and also in Sudan and Lajnah Ifta wal Awqaf in Kuwait. So these countries, they viewed the permissibility of making or having microfinancing through zakat fund, right? So the conclusion of legal view, the use of zakat in the form of qardul hasan is permissible, provided first it functions as a tool to move the beneficiaries out of poverty and to achieve self-reliance, meaning that those people who are in need, those people who want to receive the zakat as a loan, when they receive the zakat and they use the money for business, they become zakat payers, meaning that they transform from zakat recipients to zakat payers because of that loan. And the loan funds, court repayment, this is the condition, do not affect the beneficiaries' rights to the zakat they have received. Rather, it benefits more beneficiaries through funds that can be reused, or we call it revolving fund. Meaning, when they return the money, so this money will be given to other recipients using the same mechanism, using the same concept with this, which is iqradu zakah, or microfinancing through zakat fund. In Malaysia, this is practice in Malaysia. There are four examples of microfinancing practice of zakat fund in Malaysia. So the first is in Azam program. Azam is micro zakat financing program by the Alliance Islamic Bank, and this is the first Islamic bank in Malaysia to implement this program. They have implementing this program, which is microfinancing zakat, since 2023, and they have given the zakat to people who are in need. In Malaysia, we call those people the condition, the first condition, they must be among the B40 people, meaning the needy people, the poor people in Malaysia. If they apply for this kind of zakat, microfinancing using zakat fund, they will be given. So Alliance Islamic Bank has implemented since 2023, and they have already almost 150 recipients, and almost 90% succeeded, meaning that they repaid the loan, and also some of them, more than 50%, transformed from recipient of zakat into zakat payers. This is amazing. That is why, even though it is only by Alliance Islamic Bank, but many banks will follow suit. And also, for example, program of IQTISHADUNA microfinancing for zakat payers by Bank Negara of Malaysia, and also program by Bank Islam in collaboration with Pusat Pungutan Zakat Kuala Lumpur, and also in state of Kedah, they started microfinancing from zakat fund in the program. They call it the Smart Sawah Berskala Besar Asnaf. It is called Smart SBBA program. So based on microfinancing zakat. Justification. I mentioned three only justification that microfinancing or microcredit financing from zakat funds is permissible and must be supported, and we hope that many institutions will follow suit. The first, asnaf transformation, as I just mentioned just now. So the purpose of zakat is no longer just short-term welfare assistance, but also to elevate the status of zakat, or the status of asnaf, to become self-reliant, and subsequently they become muzakki or zakat payers. Second, fund sustainability. Al-Qardul Hasan allows zakat funds to rotate and be reused by other asnaf when they are repaid, thus ensuring the sustainability of zakat funds. And the third, instilling responsibility. This loan, the mechanism of microcredit financing from zakat fund, instills discipline, trust, responsibility among asnaf to manage business capital well. This better compared to the provision of grants hibah, which may provide less management motivation. Meaning, if people only given zakat as a gift, so will be finished just like that. But if he or she is given zakat as a loan, and he or she must pay because this zakat will be used for business, then they have responsibility to manage the money they borrow. And then as mentioned by Islamic banks, more than 80% of recipients, they repay back. They repay the loan, and then they become muzakki, zakat payers, when they were in last time were the zakat recipient. So this is the difference between zakat to be given as qardul hasan and zakat to be given as hibah, or as a gift. So conclusion, dear professors, all the participants of the seminar, the distribution of zakat funds into microfinance, particularly through the qardul hasan, which is interest-free loan, is viewed as permissible. It is to be encouraged under the modern zakat management framework in Malaysia, and also in other countries, in Indonesia, in Brunei, Singapore, and other countries. This view is more reliable. It is stronger, or arjah, compared to the traditional view, which emphasizes the tamlik alone. It refers to maqal Shariah in this issue, especially hifdul mal, which is preservation of property, and hifdul nafs, which is preservation of soul among Muslims.
In a nutshell, the use of zakat funds for microfinance is an innovative step that is in line with purpose of Shariah or Maqasid Shariah requirements. It proves that zakat is not only an act of worship, but it is a powerful social financial instrument in building a more just and sustainable economic ecosystem.
So this is my presentation. I end with wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.